I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for this week's RV and Camping News Roundup. This episode is sponsored by the Togo RV app, offering checklists, maintenance reminders, and more. The app's free, but a $39 per year Togo RV Plus membership gives you RV-specific route navigation, the R Village social network, overnight RVparking.com, and Road Trippers Plus, along with a whole host of discounts on RV products like tires and lithium batteries. You can get $10 off Togo RV Plus with the code RVMiles10X. Much of the nation has been gripped by the disappearance of 22-year-old Gabby Petito, who was reported missing by her family over the weekend after she'd been traveling with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Laundrie returned to the pair's Northport, Florida home earlier this month without Petito and is refusing to talk to authorities. In June, the pair set out on a cross-country road trip in a white Ford Transit camper van owned by Petito. And according to the Northport police, she maintained regular contact with her family members. That communication abruptly stopped around the end of August. The couple left a hotel in Salt Lake City on August 24th and were heading to Grand Teton National Park, then eventually Yellowstone, according to Petito's family. The last verbal communication Petito's mom, Nicole Schmidt, had with her daughter was on August 25th, when the couple was apparently in Grand Teton National Park. Schmidt received a text from Petito's phone on August 27th and another on August 30th saying she was in Yosemite National Park and had no cell service to talk. Laundrie returned home to Northport, Florida on September 1st with Petito's white van, but without Petito. Schmidt does not believe the final texts were from her daughter due to the short timeline. Yosemite is 800 miles from where Petito was last seen in Grand Teton a few days earlier, and 2,700 miles from Northport, Florida, where Laundrie arrived 2 days later, which is about a 40-hour trip. The couple had been stopped on August 12th by Moab police after they had a physical altercation in which Petito was the aggressor outside of a grocery store, which happened to be the workplace of Kylan Schulte, who was shot and killed 6 days later in a Moab area campground with her partner Crystal Turner. Authorities haven't pointed to any other connection between the two cases, but they aren't ruling out that they may be related. Petito is white, about 5 feet 5 inches tall, and 110 pounds, with blonde hair, blue eyes, and several tattoos, including one on her finger and one on her forearm that reads "Let It Be." You can call 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have any information. The world's largest RV show wraps this weekend in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Are they the largest for real? Who knows? But attendance is shattering records. Last year's show was canceled due to COVID, and some manufacturers and dealers pulled out of this year's show due to low RV inventories and record numbers of orders. But still, over 1,200 RVs were on display in the Giant Center parking lot. Thanks to Mike and Susan at RV Blogger for that footage. Make sure to check out their YouTube channel for more coverage of the Hershey show. Hershey went off without a hitch, and it's a good thing because the industry's open house that takes place in Elkhart, Indiana each year to show off new models to dealers was just canceled, citing concerns over employees and the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus. Sales of new RVs were down 25% in July over last year, according to Statistical Surveys, Inc. But don't think the market is totally cooling off yet. The 54,000 RVs sold in July represent the second best July on record after 2020. Both June and July were down over last year after 12 straight months of record sales. Class A RVs dropped nearly 40%, Class C's 35%, and travel trailers 27%. Fifth wheels and Class B camper vans held pretty close to steady over last July. Camping World CEO Marcus Lemonis has revealed the motivation behind his attempt to plant a Camping World flag in all of the lower 48 states. Dealership licenses in every state will allow Camping World to sell RVs online from anywhere and ship to anywhere in the U.S., well, except Hawaii and Alaska. It's called Highways, and similar to Carvana, the entire process from securing a loan to signing the paperwork will be online, and the RVs will be delivered directly to your door or to a campground. Lemonis shared the news of Highways at an investor conference where he said the company is knocking on the door of $1 billion in annual revenue. He also mentioned that Camping World is adding 350 service bays across the country, bragging that those bays will bring in more than $100 million at more than a 70% profit margin. We are paying way too much for service, and techs surely aren't getting their fair share. According to KGTV San Diego, two sister RV resorts operated by Michael and Jacob Gelfand on the city's Mission Bay have been fined $750,000 for closing off public beaches and passing them off as a private amenity since 1967. The lease with the city required free public parking and beach access to be available, but people have been kept out by threatening signage and security guards for over 50 years. As a part of the settlement, the Campland and Mission Bay RV resorts will provide free camping for underprivileged kids and install new public toilets and electric vehicle chargers while removing dozens of signs. RV rental marketplace Outdoorsy has experienced exponential growth over the past couple years, and according to a report in Bloomberg, is now considering an IPO. The Austin, Texas-based startup is working with Goldman Sachs on a potential public offering. CEO Jeff Cavins told me that he thought the company was about to close its doors last March as he laid off much of the staff. Then the outdoor travel boom hit, and he hired everyone back and then some. Now, Outdoorsy may be valued at over $1 billion. Dometic, which probably makes something on your RV, from furnaces to air conditioners to fridges and awnings, has acquired the Igloo cooler brand. Igloo is based out of Katy, Texas, and has 1,100 employees building American-made products. Dometic is a much bigger company than you probably think, providing outdoor and travel products to all sorts of markets like boating and patios. They've also acquired barbecue maker Kadak, their seventh acquisition this year. After a successful launch of their Pigeon Forge, Tennessee location this summer, Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville hospitality brand has announced that it will launch an entire chain of RV resorts, beginning with their second in Auburndale, Florida in early 2022. It's a rebrand of the Cabana Club Resort, which will feature a tiki bar, an entertainment stage, arcade, mini golf course, 175 RV sites, a giant pool, and more. No word on where the other locations are planned for, but the company says several are on their way. Finally, there are a lot of dumb things you can do while towing a trailer, but taking a fifth wheel through a drive-thru is one of the dumbest. Check out this video of a man forcing his fifth wheel through a Dairy Queen drive-thru. As it gets caught on the corner of the building, instead of backing up, he gives it the gas and lets the trailer rip down the entire side of the building. That's it for this week's RV and camping news. Please hit the subscribe button if you want more of these. And remember, likes are free and they help a lot. Here's last week's news video if you missed it. And here's a great video that you haven't checked out yet. See you next time.